All right, everybody, welcome back to another AI versus human review, I guess we'll call it. Today we're doing Cosmic Star Heroine on the PS4. This game was recommended to me, and well, let's get into it. Let's do an overview here. It says Cosmic Star Heroine is a single-player sci-fi role-playing game developed and published by Z-Boy Games. Originally released for PS4 and PC in April of 2017, and later on other platforms. I'm gonna probably butcher these names. You play as Alyssa LaSalle, a top secret agent working for the Intergalactic Agency of Peace and Intelligence, who uncovers a galaxy-spanning conspiracy. So after being bred into a traitor, Alyssa goes rogue, recruiting allies and battling powerful enemies in a quest to stop a mind control project that threatens all life. So let's go on to the graphics here. This Cosmic Star Heroine leans hard into retro aesthetic with vibrant 16-bit style pixel graphics that clearly evoke classic like Chrono Triggers and other Super NES JRPGs. Classic sprites are expressive and colorful, and the environments vary across futuristic cities, alien landscapes, theme songs, helping combat visual monotony. So on the graphics, it's gorgeous 16-bit pixel art style. It's kind of, I would say, definitely in the Super Nintendo era of pixel art style. I'm going to compare this game a lot to Sea of Stars because that's kind of the, if I combine this game and Sea of Stars, you're pretty much like right where I want it to be. Sea of Stars is a prettier game. This one has nothing to be ashamed about. There's lots of cutscenes. It's just a good looking game, no complaints. Next up's gameplay. So the gameplay is the heart of the experience. This is where most fans and critics agree the game shines. I do agree with that. It says combat is turn-based. Encounters happen on the field rather than a separate screen, which I do enjoy, similar to Chrono Trigger. The system avoids random grinding by letting you choose when to fight, and recover after combat reduces busy works. I do also enjoy the recovery after fights. Abilities are recharged through tactical choices rather than mana, which keeps each fight thoughtful. Complexity and balance. Some players find that once you discover a powerful strategy or combo, pacing loses a bit of tension. Occasional UI balance or oddities and sometimes rush tutorial can make strategic layer feel less polished at first. I think this game is pretty much like right on point. I'm going to admit I usually only play like the story based or the easier modes on these because I just don't have a lot of time in the world and I kind of just want to experience the games. But everything was hard enough where you had to pay attention, but not hard enough where you'll just constantly lose fights and fights over and over. There is a lot of JRPGs where, like, even on normal difficulty, the base, garbage monsters just whoop your ass, and it tends not to be fun. But overall, even if you're not super hardcore into turn-based, it's still a really like fun experience. Next up, sound. Says the music was composed by Hyperduck Soundworks. The soundtrack blends retro synth, jazz energy, and sci-fi vibes, greatly enhance the atmosphere. It says many players find the tracks catchy, mood-setting, and memorable even after playing. So the sound effects, most effects fit the retro aesthetic. Through a small minority of tracks and sequences may lack sound, and effects entirely feel underutilized in parts. I agree with that. I was gonna say if I'm bringing it back to like the Sea of Stars comparison, soundtrack on Sea of Stars is, in my opinion, top notch. The music in Cosmic Star Heroine is very good, and I do agree with the sound effects. There seems like a lot of times there was just kind of like dead silence or something, and especially in some of the fights, but not enough to like take it as a negative. It's just, if you play something else where there's just constant music and sound effects going, you kind of will definitely know a difference. Says on the replayability, says this is where opinions are more mixed. Positive factors, multiple difficulty options encourage trying different combat approaches. I play this on PS4, so there's trophies. There's a trophy just to play the first fight of the game in the hardest difficulty. That shit's hard. You have to pretty much perfectly calculate like every move to succeed just the first freaking fight. So anybody that's hardcore enough to play the whole game that way, more power to them. But Jesus, it took me like about 6-7 tries to finally nail down the first fight. Maybe I just suck. It's probably the case. But it says some reviews point to New Game Plus and character build experimentation as an incentive for replay. It says limitations: the main quest is fairly short. Many players finish in roughly 10 to 15 hours. I want to say I wrote it down because I'm keeping track of them this year. It took me 17 and a half hours to finish this. And mainly because there's one area where you got to return a painting to the freaking art gallery. And I didn't realize like I can just walk the screen over. So I'm walking around because the maps on this game, that's actually my biggest complaint is the maps kind of suck. I didn't realize like I was just literally a screen over. So I just spent like probably an hour and a half walking around this one area trying to figure out where the hell to take this painting. When it was literally like, you know, just a screen over. I just didn't realize there was a path there. But, you know, that's me. But other than that, very short game. Nobody should have trouble beating this under 20 hours, which is honestly the best thing. Like I'm gonna do the CSR's comparison. CSR's made me feel like it was kind of dragging on at the end, and I get that way with a lot of, especially like RPGs. Is I'm into it, but I'm ready for the game to end. This game didn't give me that. This game was like pretty much the perfect length. Like I really enjoyed it. They say verdict. Cosmic Star Heroine is a charming, retro-inspired JRPG with solid combat, vibrant pixel art, and standout music. So it delivers a breezy sci-fi adventure, perfect for fans of classic RPGs on PS4, especially if you enjoy nostalgic visuals throughout turn-based battles. It says, however, it is not a sprawling epic. The story and replay value are modest, and some minor technical and design quirks crop up. I had no issues with any kind of technical things on this game. That is my overall verdict. And if you enjoy pixel art style turn-based RPGs, you should really play this one. It is a short experience. I personally probably won't never go back unless I get a hair up my butt wanting to get trophies or something. But I'm probably never. I'm going to keep this game until I'm just no longer putting in video games. I enjoyed it that much, so I always want it on the shelf, especially, you know, show other people, you know, I try to share everything, but that's where I'm at. This is definitely a must-play game, and I want to say thank you for the people who recommended it to me. Any other things that come to mind, please recommend them. And as always, everybody, thank you for joining me, and keep on playing your games. Until next time.